let's go into this lack of accountability. Now, if you are a leader, pastor, spiritual, whatever you are, you should be able to be accountable to yourself and your congregation, especially if you're saying that you're accountable to God of all things. And if you have a leader or you've experienced a leader that when you confronted them about something or checked them on something, a lot of times they'll get upset and turn it around on you and find something to project onto you. So, and this can cause a great harm in the ministry because this is going to make other people think, oh, I don't have to be accountable because pastor is not accountable, because Pastor Mo Eric or El Saint ain't accountable or priestess ain't accountable. What's up, my real priestess? Welcome to another episode of Conversations with the Priestess. It's me, your girl Priestess. I hope your week has been well. The strain that I am partaking of is Emerald Jack, Great Sativa. This is the strain of the week. It has helped me remain peaceful and calm in the midst of chaos and frustrations, but also has given me the creative energy that I needed. And it is quite good. And I know after I'm finished with this, yes, I'm rolling another because it's good. Okay. But welcome. I'm happy that y'all are listening to me. Thank you all for your love and support. Again, I hope your week has been kind to you. If this week was rough for you, I'm sending you love and positivity. And I'm hoping that you are practicing self-care and doing what you need to do for you. And I know it seems when I'm recording videos, if y'all watch my videos on YouTube, I'm always doing something. That's just me. So just flow with me. But this week has been great. Celebrated 1 year of partnership with my partner, and I'm happy and I'm excited. It was great. Celebrated with friends. And was able to just spend time with my partner and have that quiet time and just bask in the essence of love and happiness and being in a healthy, loving, strong relationship. And that highlighted my week for me. And I want to say to my babe, I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay, I'm done. And that's all y'all gonna get, because I'm not gonna do my lady. No, I'm not gonna do that, because I know how y'all are. People are wild in these streets. And on top of starting a new position and having a schedule change, I'm also preparing for sad season as well, as I mentioned in this week's Priestess After Dark episode. So I don't know where this journey is going to take me this year, as I'm in a better mental space than I was last year, the year before that. I do believe that I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to survive this. If you want tips on how to survive sad season, go on back to the previous episode. What do you do when your libido tanks? It not only helps in the episode with sex drive, but it does help give you some tips about depression. Go check that out and give that a listen. You can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, iHeartRadio, anywhere where you download and or stream podcasts. And I also have bonus material on my Patreon at patreon.com/CWTPRIESTESS. I have some bonus things that I'm bringing there. A part of I Think I Hate My Family. I'm going to be sharing some more story times there that I don't necessarily share on the main stage here. On the Priestess stage, I share that on the Merlin stage, as I like to call it, since that's the smaller stage. But also, I have new content uploaded as well for Merlin Mystique. And that's the strength that I've had to do, is make content this week and just edit what I already have, and taking it one step at a time. But while y'all are over at Merlin's house, she has a 40% off discount on all her platforms, and she has some salacious materials. I may post some of her videos on my now free y'all need Taylor OF. I have certain posts that are pay-per-view. I'm going to be posting some of my content there. I do want to advise that a lot of the podcast stuff will not be on the free OF, just certain things that I'm putting there. But that's more of a personal page for me to show y'all a little bit of who I am, and showing y'all what I do behind the scenes, as well as some exclusive music that will be there on the OF and the Patreon. If y'all want options, that's how y'all want y'all set up to be, okay? So I love giving y'all options. But other than that, I have to pay some bills. The week has been great. Now, I do want to say my piece a little bit about these couriers that like to steal people's food. Y'all need to stop that shit. Stop doing that dumb stuff. So on Wednesday, after I had recorded the episode and got ready to sit down and get some food, I had just gone off from work. It was getting settled. And I said, well, let me go ahead and order some Popeye's chicken, so I can edit this video. Boom. Child. Said, well, since I ordered the food, I'll go ahead and do some yoga and shower. I was looking at what time it was going to take. It was going to take about 30 minutes due to the time that I ordered it and the weather and different things of that nature. And just then traffic on top of that. Well, I'm doing my yoga, take a quick shower, and it's close for the original time that was slated for my food to arrive. So I'm like making sure I'm dressed, so I can greet the courier and get my food. So I sit down and I start chilling out to some music, waiting for them to call me. I go ahead and check my phone. It's about 10 more minutes till my food comes. I said, okay, maybe something happened. But I'm looking at the app and it's showing that they're 3 minutes away and they're at like the nearest light, according to the app map. Well, I get ready to call the courier and the courier does not answer my call, and I try texting. Well, I try to go back in the app again and it's marked delivered. I'm thinking surely this is an accident, or maybe, she's there at the door. I go outside. I ain't see nobody. I try calling again, nothing. So I run my happy ass and angry ass back in the house and go ahead and dial Uber Eats and call them. And the personnel assisted me and I told them what happened. And they were like, Miss Taylor, you stating that you didn't get your food. We're sorry for the inconvenience. I'm going to try to call the courier just for added measure. Sure. You doing your job, baby. I'm not going to get upset with you. So she waits. I wait a few minutes, rather. I wait a few minutes while the personnel is calling. She says, well, it's going to voicemail. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to refund you. I took the Uber cash and I had already reordered what I wanted in the first place. And thankfully this person showed up. So to the courier's secret, heifer, you didn't have to steal my food like that, girl. And I hope they ban you from the app. Okay. Smooches. Like, don't play with my food like that. I was hungry. Don't play with my food, because if I'm hungry, I'm going to get hangry if I don't get food. But what pisses me off is this is not the first time this has happened to me on the Uber Eats app or with food delivery. I've had one time where in 1 week I've had 3 orders stolen. And I'm like, what are y'all getting out of that? If y'all need food that bad, why don't y'all just complete the delivery? It will give you the option to cash out after you receive a certain amount or after so much time that it clears. You can cash out and go get you some food. Why don't you do that? Don't be stealing people's food, honey. Like, that's dumb. If you got to scam the system. Not only that, baby, what kills me is when I get a courier, they have one vehicle listed and they pull up in a totally different vehicle and you're looking for your food. They don't have the decency to get out or don't advise you that they're driving a different vehicle for whatever reason. And then it's like chaos. Then you have those that I'm going to say this to individuals that want to help their mate that is having a hard time. Uber Eats is not the way to help your mate. And I'm speaking to my ladies out there. Ladies, I understand you want to help your man, but do not let him use your Uber Eats account to deliver food. If we see your picture, we're going to expect to see that it's you delivering the food, not your boyfriend, okay? Girl, no, we don't need to. And that's a safety concern. Several months ago, I had ordered some food. It was about 8 or 9 p.m. I had been out and about doing some things, running some errands after work, and I came back home and was waiting on my food. I had ordered the food when I knew I was close to home, so that way I would be at home and I wouldn't have to worry about my food coming or me not being home while I was coming in from running my errands. So, waiting for the food to come is this nice, pretty girl on the app. I said, okay. Well, I'm waiting for my food to come. I get no warning that, there's somebody else that's going to bring the food to you for whatever situation, maybe, I don't know. But when I go get my food, it's this tall dude. And I'm like, is this my order? He was like, yeah, thank you. I felt so uncomfortable with that because, number one, how do I not know that y'all trying to set me up to be robbed? Number one, how do I not know that y'all not trying to case me? And, that's dangerous. That's uncomfortable. That's unsettling, especially in this day and time where people will do anything for clicks and likes. Baby, don't do that. And if you're going to have a certain vehicle, make sure that you're driving the right. Make sure everything matches up. Don't be playing games like that. But back to the stealing food. Number one, why are y'all stealing people's food? And a lot of times it be the ones that be listed as a bicycle or have a blank profile. I don't know how they're getting away with that shit. And it really pissed me off because I'm like, y'all, what if that's somebody's like first meal? Or what if that's somebody's only meal? Or what if somebody's just having a hard time and you stealing their meal might put them over the edge? Do y'all think about shit like that? I don't think people don't think. People in this day and age are not self-aware. I don't know if it's TV, the educational system, or social media, or just people don't give a crap anymore. I blame Zeus Television for that and the Shade Room for that shit. People don't critically think. People are not self-aware, and I don't understand what's going on. Like, how would you feel if somebody did that to you? Like, girl. But nevertheless, I got my food. I ate it, and what I didn't eat that night, I ate it for breakfast with some good hearty things the next morning, and I moved on. And of course, I hope that the little girl Secret that stole my food, I hope they banned your ass from the app. I really hope they banned your ass from the app. You deserve to be banned, okay? You deserve to be banned. Hell. Made me mad. Talking about that. I'm sorry, I'm not, but just, I'm calm now. I'm calm. Just, that was the most irritating thing that happened to me this week. Like, don't steal my food, honey. When I don't get my food, I am a bitch from hell. When I don't get my food, don't play in my face like that. But listen, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna roll a little something. And when I come back, I'm going to talk about spiritual leaders and how to spot the toxic ones. Share my experience from various churches that I've been in, and as well as some of the things I experienced at the hands of Pastor Mo Edward and El Saint. I'm going to talk about more about those experiences over on the Patreon. So y'all live, love, and be free. I'll be right back. What's up, my royal priesthood? Thank you again for tuning in to Conversations with the Priestess. Thank you for following and subscribing. And if you're new here, why haven't you subscribed yet? Go on ahead and do that for me. Get ready on September 13th at noon. Premiering on YouTube, Spotify, and anywhere where you download and or listen to this podcast. I will be premiering a series called I Think I Hate My Family, as I unpack my childhood and just give you a little bit of insight on how I've managed to overcome being raised by a narcissist and a toxic parental figure. This is something that I'm doing to help those who are healing and dealing with childhood trauma and various types of trauma. And it's going to get heavy and deep sometimes. So we're going to be in this together. So if you're all ready for that, go ahead and subscribe, set those bell notifications, set those reminders for September the 13th. I Think I Hate My Family here on Conversations with the Priestess. Let's jump back into the show. Welcome back. Toxic leaders. I've wanted to dive into this topic for the longest, and it took me some time to unpack and gather my thoughts, how I wanted to present this. And this is based off of my experience throughout my time of being in the Christian church and being in ministry and being under all types of leadership. I've had some great leaders, but I've had some horrible leaders, with the last few being very horrible indeed. And this has made me very cautious about navigating spirituality and linking myself up with certain individuals. So thankfully to TikTok, I have certain individuals that I follow. Their links will be in my show notes. Y'all treat them with kindness and respect as I treat them with kindness and respect, because I don't want y'all to be following people and doing all kind of foolishness. But you have to be very mindful of the people that you call yourself following. And I dare say, if you are new in your spiritual walk or new to certain things and you're looking for a spiritual leader, especially for those who are trans and looking for a church home, make sure that you sit and observe before committing yourself to anything. Just sit and observe, watch how they treat people around them, watch the things that they say. Are they financially responsible? Are they accountable? Do they communicate well? And watch out for how they project their insecurities. I'm going to break this up into 2 episodes because this is going to get lengthy and I don't want to bore y'all too long. Like Twinkie Clark said on Indami from Live in Charlotte, I don't want y'all to get tired of me. Power. But no, for real. So I'm going to break it down. So we're going to go ahead and delve into signs of a bad leader or pastor and what to do about it. I'm using a guide from faithinthedivine.com. The show notes are posted below for you to review, to just check this out. And I'm going to add my own things to it as well. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a spiritual person or a religious leader or a pastor that you love listening to. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I have a problem with is the toxic church culture. And with this guide and with this message, my intention is to help you recognize toxic leaders and bad pastors, because they're all over the place, you know. Now, don't go around saying, priestess said this and that to your pastor, saying I'm calling them that. No, this is telling you how to spot bad leaders. And this is not only in the spiritual realm, but this is also in your workplace, in your organization, in anything where you may, have a person that you answer to. But also, I want this to help you not become a toxic leader, for you to be a better leader. Now, how shall we recognize the signs of a bad leader or a bad pastor? First up is lack of transparency. A good quality of a leader is that they are transparent, that they communicate properly. The success of a business or a ministry is built on transparency. If you are transparent, that means you are trustworthy and people can trust you. And some of the ways that a bad pastor can exhibit lack of transparency is that they withhold information. They may withhold information about church finances, about events, or certain things that may be affecting them in ministry, or even possible scandal that may be coming to light. And then also, if you are in the church world, there's a lot of gossip and things that happens and scandals that happen. And even with that, a lot of leaders will withhold information to kind of not tell you the whole story and to throw off accountability, which we'll get to. But a pastor, they will do things like that. Prime example in some of the ministries that I've been in, and I'm going to tell the whole story about this. One Sunday I went to church when I went to church in Rock Hill, and we pulled up to the church, and the church was boarded up. And to this day, I don't know what the hell happened. We got there and the church was boarded up, and there was a sign about them taking the property and possible foreclosure. I don't know what was going on. I gathered there either was a tax issue or something was going on with their property where they didn't pay the taxes, or either there was something going on with the previous leader of the church. I don't know. And we ended up taking the boards down and having service, but there was never a meeting had. The only meeting that was had was just like this stupid pep rally to rally the saints to give more and to tell the people about the ministry with no real idea of telling us what was going on, not knowing if we were in danger, not knowing what was going on. And unfortunately, the pastor of that ministry is deceased. I talked about the ministry and I was in a cult, and I took some of those episodes down out of respect for that family, due to the pandemic. But that is one way that I've had a leader withhold information from me. And it was at that point where I realized I could not trust that leadership, and I had slowly started moving away from that ministry. Not only will they withhold information, however, they may limit access. Priestess, what do you mean by limiting access? Limiting access, they'll give certain people access to church records or to important information or to certain work documents, whatever documents. Or either they'll make it difficult for the church people, for the congregation, for the boards to access that information. And when you see that happening, 9 times out of 10, there's something going on with the finances, or they're hiding information because it may be that they're using the church money for felonious purposes or for the wrong motive, or it could be a show. It could be a show of control over those in ministry. And you have to watch out for those that limit access, because they may be playing with people's identities. They may be playing with 501c3 funds. They may be playing with all type of money with business deals. And a lot of times, with a lot of these new churches, you have to be careful, because they'll masquerade as a nonprofit, but they're really a for-profit and an LLC. And I learned this from the Hillsong documentary, that a lot of mega churches are on certain lists that if they have so much money coming in, that's a red flag. So you might want to question some of these extravagant pastors out there. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting the things that you desire, but if you have an extravagant lifestyle and you're a spiritual leader, there's some exploitation going on somewhere. I'm just saying. And when you have leaders that are withholding information and limiting access, that's a sign, that's a major red flag. And also, that's not real trustworthy of them. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. Because as a leader, if you are a leader or if you have someone leading you, you want to be able to trust them. And if you can't trust them, can you really, are they going to hold themselves accountable? And let's go into this lack of accountability. Now, if you are a leader, pastor, spiritual, whatever you are, you should be able to be accountable to yourself and your congregation, especially if you're saying that you're accountable to God of all things. And if you have a leader or you've experienced a leader that when you confronted them about something or checked them on something, a lot of times they'll get upset and turn it around on you and find something to project onto you. So, and this can cause a great harm in the ministry because this is going to make other people think, oh, I don't have to be accountable because pastor is not accountable, because Pastor Mo Eric or El Saint ain't accountable or priestess ain't accountable. I can do whatever the fuck I want to too. And you can't have that, especially if you're telling people to live a holistic lifestyle. That's being a hypocrite. A pastor should be accountable to the congregation, to a higher spiritual authority. So what they do is this leader will operate without a checks and balance system, no oversight. I've been in ministries, for example, where a leader just started their church. They had no kind of education, no type of mentorship. They just took a couple of classes and boom, they're ready to start a business. They learned how to do all the paperwork, how to speak the jargon, learned how to do all of these things. But you want your board to be only yes people. You want your people to be only, the ones who say yes to you, but you also are not letting anyone mentor you. And what was wild is there were many people that offered to help him in the ministry, and he kept turning them down, saying, oh, they're trying to harm me. They're trying to take advantage of me. They're trying to prey on me. While we acknowledge, yes, there are predators in ministry, there are some people that are actually genuine and want to really help you spiritually. And again, by giving you this information, I'm helping y'all watch how these people move. Also, be careful when a leader ignores the concerns or complaints of the members. Be mindful when a leader ignores when you tell them that you're experiencing a hard time or that you're in need. Prime example, I talked about this before, of how I was crowdfunding for a car and my then pastor blocked me for crowdfunding, saying it offended him that I was crowdfunding and didn't come to him first. Well, sir, I came to you first and you said that you couldn't help, let's find some resources, but you didn't even share my crowdfunding link or even talk to the other church people in the organization. So I ain't really worried about you, darling. So it will be that type of things, but not also with that, but also if we had concerns about ministry as well. Pastor Mo Edward wanted to build a church in Philadelphia, whereas the church in DC was not growing. It was just me, the passport bro, and him on Saturdays. Then we finally moved to Sundays, and that was convoluted. But I'm like, and I asked, how is this going to work when we need to build this one? Well, we'll just have to work hard in both areas. And whenever we brought that up, Pastor Mo would get upset and try to blame us for not being active instead of taking to account that, sir, you're not thinking this through. And this is also linked into my next point, resisting evaluation. They'll resist evaluation. They'll resist any constructive criticism. But in turn, will project that criticism on you. You have to be careful that when you're letting your leader or your pastor know that you have concerns about maybe some behaviors they're shown or just the concern about the spiritual circle or the ministry, they'll turn it around on you and remind you of the times that you may have, quote unquote, fallen short, or that you may have dropped the ball or something, or that you may have made a mistake somewhere, and they will make that the reason why the ministry is not growing and project that onto you. You have to be mindful of those type of leaders that do that type of stuff, because they are causing more harm, but also they're projecting their trauma and their own insecurities. And a lot of times how this happens, you have to be careful of leaders that create a specific dress code, or they immediately start criticizing how you dress, your look, how you wear your hair, the jewelry that you buy, even down to if your clothes look cheap, if they look like you're going to a club. You'll see elements of elitism. And while they're downing you, they're up here using the church funds or struggling to make ends meet because they're trying to live this extravagant mega church lifestyle when they can't afford the building that they're using, or they can't afford the honorarium for a lot of the preachers that they have, that what they want to come in because they want to build a name. And with the attitude of extravagance, they also have this delusion of grandeur that they are the ish, and they will go by any means to social climb, to in the church world, to try to get a platform, and they will step on you to get it. And you have to be careful of these things because they will charm you so well. And with the extravagance that comes from the perception that, oh, you have to be this rich person to be spiritual. No, baby. No, baby. No, you can't do that. And with this extravagance, they start prioritizing personal gain. Now, if you are a spiritual person or a religious leader, you are to serve the people. You are not to serve your own personal gain. And so when you have a leader that prioritizes their own interest over the needs of their flock, this will cause people to be disillusioned. This will cause people to leave the ministry. This will cause people to not trust people, but also this will further traumatize people who have already been abused and misused by an exploitative system. And what they do, you'll see this a lot of times with a lot of preachers that teach the prosperity gospel. There is a heavy focus on tithing and giving as a way to build prosperity in your life, when in actuality, baby, you missing out some bills by giving all that money to him, and you're not seeing any type of reward. Also, they will do exploitative tactics such as having you volunteer for a lot of church events and not compensating you, not even showing you any type of appreciation, whereas they will appreciate other people because they're trying to build a name or they're trying to win favor. And you also have to be careful when they start rewarding people because they want to build a name. And I'm going to come to that in just a moment. But also, as I made a point earlier, in neglecting care and ignoring concerns, neglecting spiritual care. We see this at times with leaders who will have people who are grieving, and people are saying that they may be dealing with depression or mental illness. What they will do, they will tell people to pray about it instead of advising them to seek a professional for their needs. And this is a way that they will spiritual bypass and ignore the spiritual and emotional, sometimes the psychological needs of the flock. If you have a leader that sees that you may be a little off and that you may be struggling, that they may see that you may show signs of depression or whatever, or it could just be that life is happening and that you may be distracted or you're trying to focus on life. Instead of coming to you asking, hey, how are you? I'm checking in with you. Are you okay? Like, do you need time away? I want to make sure you okay. Instead of doing that and leaving it at that, they'll say, I want to make sure you're okay. But then they'll say, well, we want to make sure that you're flowing in ministry. And right now we can't have you, hemorrhaging on the sheep and, pouring your trauma onto them. You need to go heal and then you can get back in order. We're going to sit you down and, once you get back together, because your life is all messed up, you was doing good, but I don't know if you sinned or not. This is how they neglect spiritual care, but also making the other person feel, punching down on them, making them feel as if they did something wrong, when in actually you should just be telling them, hey, yes, life gets rough, but we're here for you. We got some people that can help you, that can take the slack for you while you relax. Like, let them know what you can do, and we're all a team. Instead of helping build support, they'll take their position away to make themselves look good, to make themselves look like, I'm the leader, I got this in control. That person is bad and harmful for the ministry. And this can lead to divisive behavior, okay? This is divisive behavior. Now, if you are a leader, you are charged with unifying the people, not tearing the people apart, as we see with the orange dude. And one thing you have to look out for, make sure that you watch for this. Watch if a pastor or a spiritual leader shows favoritism towards certain members. And watch how when something happens, it could be something small as they couldn't come to an event, or they may have tried to hold them accountable, or it could just be as something that was supposed to be limited access was leaked. They'll start stirring conflict and spilling tea. And then while in the conflict, the pastor will find a new group to show favoritism to show jealous, to make the other group jealous. And we see this happening a lot. And we then see this pastor encourage them to create exclusive groups within the congregation. And this is all a ploy. For what other reason? To feed their ego. And then some people just like division and drama. This type of stuff, again, will fracture the community, but this will cause further harm. And this can cause people to harm themselves with this crap, Like, let's say you have a leader. He has this group that he calls his armor bearers. And this is exactly what they'll call them, the armor bearers, and they'll make them the elite. And, this will make other members elite because the leader will start praising them and giving them all kind of accolades, putting them in special positions and special favors. However, this will cause other members to get upset, and then it will be a conflict between parties. And you will see pastors do this and divide friendships up. A lot of times it could be out of jealousy or whatever reason. And when a pastor is stirring conflict instead of resolving conflict, you will also have leaders that will see a conflict and they will use that as a means to kind of flex their power and further stir conflict instead of resolving it. And when you have stuff like that, baby, that's time for you to jump ship, call it out, and move on. And in the second half, I'm going to discuss how to confront a toxic leader as well. But see, you have to be careful of this type of behavior. And this is just a few things that I wanted to share with you on how to identify toxic leadership. And if you are in a ministry or in a place to where you may be experiencing these things, you can leave. You can leave. If you have to leave quietly, just stop showing up and start blocking people on social media. You have to do that. And I'm going to give you some guys in part 2 on next week on how to handle this. If y'all see me wearing the same thing, I bulk record, so that's how we do this. So I'm going to leave y'all at that because I've talked enough on this topic for right now. So y'all live, love, and be free. I love y'all so much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share. September 13th, I Think I Hate My Family. Y'all love and be free. Live, love, and be free. Smooches.
Who am I? I'm Yanni T. I'm eccentric, I'm bold, and I'm bad. A dreamer by nature, often conflicted by stature. I'm clairvoyant and not full of manure that's buoyant. I let my work speak for itself, for I am a force to be reckoned with. Say what you will, say what you